What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I got in the mail recently a fragrance I was quite excited about because it's supposedly the rebottling and reissuing of arguably my favorite fragrance from Roja Parfums. They did send this out to me. Always excited when they send something my way because I'm a big fan of the house. They put out a lot of really good stuff. And the scent we're talking about is Oligarch Parfum. Now, I'm a massive, massive fan of this fragrance. This was my most worn Roja Parfums fragrance last spring, well, summer to fall. Like, this was my travel fragrance of choice. I traveled a handful or so of times last year, and big fan of it. So the fragrance we're looking at today is Isola Blu. Gorgeous, gorgeous color choice, and I was wearing it today, and we're going to discuss, is it the same fragrance in new packaging? Stay tuned. So let's look at the key differences from the packaging. So this is Oligarch Parfum. This was the packaging. Their standard issue stuff. I mean, this isn't some brand new packaging that they didn't have before. And this is Isola Blu. Totally different. Much more tropical islands type of vibe. Never fails. Always some loud exhaust flying by when I'm recording a video, right, guys? I know a lot of you have seen that. Going all the way around. Love the color palette choice. This baby blue color is just absolutely magnificent. And then their standard is gone. So when I say that, which I didn't open this box to show you, this is the standard for them. Usually it just pillows and houses the bottle, whereas here, the bottle literally sits in it for a better presentation, almost like it's sitting neat, ankle deep in the water, because I absolutely adore that. Now, as far as the differences in the bottles, just a color palette swap. So here you see it's black enamel in the wording in the gold metal plate and black jewels in the cap. Here you have that baby blue. So get it to focus for you guys because it's reflective. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. There we go. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous baby blue. And I'm going to say it here and now, this is the prettiest Roja Parfums cap. I've had most of the renditions of the cap with the jewels. I don't have them all, like the purple and the I have the green. I don't have one with the red jewels, but I have the majority of the different caps that they come with. And I mean, this is just magnificent, guys. Look at that. Look at how beautiful. Look at the shimmer, first and foremost, but look at that color blue, like sky blue, just magnificent. Roja Dove signature. Same atomizers, which do just right. It is a high oil concentration, great, pressurized. But let's talk about this scent. So before we go into the breakdown of the accords I get, and any notes I may possibly pick up, because typically Roja Dove's fragrances are very complex, and it's hard to pick out specific notes, but these, same exact juice. So a little bit different bottle. Bottle's a little bit more refined with Isola Blu. But the scent is the same. It's the same note breakdown. It is the same aroma. So what you're going to get from this one when it opens, I have it on my arm. I'm wearing it currently. It's magnificent. It's a little watery and clean musky at this point. I've had it on for hours and hours. It opens with the sweetest of citrus and fruity tone. A little bit of a tropical feel, and you get a light touch of the greens that come as it dries more and more. There's cut grass, there's mate. It's all these different things. The base is very, very complex. But the main thing you get, because of the high oil concentration, it goes from a fresh citrus to a juicy, sweet, mouth-watering citrus. There's variety here, lemon, bergamot, lime, and so on. There's coconut in the heart that I don't get right away. But as it settles, it gets a little bit more sweet because there's things like blackcurrant and apple that kind of play a role to sweeten up this citrus fruity type of smell that you get from this one. This is gorgeous. It does start to get a little bit more tropical because you get a little bit, with all this fruity tone, you get a hint of coconut. I don't get a bunch of coconut. I don't get sunscreen. I don't get any of that. Just a little bit of like a coconut water type of feel. Just light watery tone adds to the juiciness, if anything else, but it does make for a slight tropical feel. I wouldn't call this a beach vacation type of fragrance, but I can see where it can work in those situations. Definitely a warm weather parfum because of the brightness and the just inviting nature of the aroma. As it settles, you're going to get, like I said, these soft woods and grassy green notes, but it's very fresh green. I don't get any earthiness from this. It's very clean through and through. This is ultra mass appealing. it's hard not to like this fragrance. Oligarch Parfum was highly sought after, as I believe this will be, because Oligarch Parfum was a flash in the pan. It was off the market immediately because of the war overseas. They pulled it because of the name. I get it. I understand. The downside is this was so good that I was hoping they'll rebottle it, repackage it, something, because this needs to be on the market available to people. And luckily they did. And honestly, I love the route they went, because the scent was already gorgeous, but the color scheme has my heart. Blue's my favorite color. Specifically lighter blues like sky blue, baby blue, ice blue. I digress. Not that important, but you're going to get a little sweetness. You're going to get a little touch of florals. There's a light powdery tone as it gets deeper into the dry down. The complexity is pretty hefty here. This is one of the more complex fragrances. Think complexity that you would get with a Burlington 1819, for example, for those of you that have tried that. Not even remotely close to relatable in scent profile. Just how it's hard to really peel back a lot of the layers because there's so much going on that you kind of just have to let it develop and take you on the ride that is the large amount of nuancing that this fragrance will do through the journey of the life on your skin. This one is very much in the same vein of development and complexity. That's one of the main things I love. That's why I hold Burlington 1819 in such high regard. Same goes for this one. Was super excited. I legitimately have 100 ml of the same fragrance now, is how you can look at this. And I also have the eau de parfum of this, which is a brighter, fresher take. But the parfum is a superior fragrance. Dare I say, I can imagine you smelling this, sampling this, and not liking it. The price tag is hefty, but it is one that I encourage you to somehow get a sample, small decant, travel atomizer from Roja Parfums, and spend time with it. This is an easy fragrance to fall head over heels in love with. I speak from my personal experience because that's how I feel about the fragrance. So let's discuss performance. So when it comes to longevity, this is 12 plus hours, which is magnificent for something that's so citrus fruit dominant early on in its life, that has a little bit of a tropical and green, fresh heart to it, with some floral aspects, soft woods, and additional aromatics in the base of the fragrance. I don't know exactly what oil concentration this is, but it seems to be pretty high. There's a lot of volatile oils here and fresh notes that allow it to be bright and still push off of the skin pretty well, but it's definitely beyond, I would think well beyond 25%, which is the beginning of a pure parfum, which this is a pure parfum. I'm sure it's in that 30% and beyond range, because it wears heavy for being a citrus, fruity, slightly tropical, fresh green fragrance. That's the way I would really categorize this. Very much an aromatic fougere that's citrus dominant, and it performs unlike most citrus aromatics because it's a high oil concentration and there's a lot of body to this fragrance. So 12 plus hours in longevity easily. Projection is on the slightly heavier side. I would call this the moderate to heavy type of range. It's beyond arm's reach, especially for 2 to 3 hours. You're going to have a pretty hefty scent cloud, at least I do, in the first 2 to 3 hours. If you're traveling through aircraft on a plane, which like I said last year, this was my preferred choice for travel day, I would only do 3 sprays because it's a pretty strong sillage. I didn't want to overwhelm the plane. Just being honest with you, because you start dialing up 5, 6, 7 sprays of this, several aisles are going to smell you throughout their flight. It'll be part of their in-flight meal in some instances. So projection, moderate to heavy, with a moderate to heavy sillage. That's what I was leading into by making that, kind of lame joke, I guess, but some truth to it for sure, because this is actually, I would put in the realm of a subtle beast. What do I mean by that? Like, it's not going to overwhelm you, but you're not missing this fragrance. You're not going to miss it when somebody walks by wearing you, and you as the wearer, you will live in this sillage all day long until you shower it off. You smell it consistently with a strength to it that's not going to overwhelm the wearer, but is consistent. And because the aroma is so enjoyable, that's what makes this so many things, so many points I'm telling you guys that makes it one of, if not, my absolute favorite from the house. So performance across the board, I would call it a subtle beast mode fragrance. Final thoughts on Roja Parfums Isola Blu, the rebottling, repackaging, reimagining of Roja Parfums Oligarch Parfum. It's outstanding. that goes without saying. I'm sure you could assume, based on everything I said leading up to this moment, that it was going to be above a 9. Since I've decided to finally start giving 10s, and I already put this as a 10 out of 10 in the compliment factor, because I've gotten a bunch of compliments wearing this fragrance. I've worn it this one specifically. I've worn it a bunch of times. It's the same fragrance. I've worn it a bunch of times. It's a highly it's super charismatic. The charisma level and the just scent profile character of this one, it's so inviting, and such a niche fragrance lover's freshie. It's the aficionado's freshie. Like, this kind of dwarfs Elysium Parfum in some ways. And some of you have seen my review on Elysium Parfum. That one, I think I gave a 9.5 out of 10. So this one I would take over Elysium Parfum. Not the blue bottle. The expensive one. The better one. The Parfum Pour Homme. Since I started doing 10s now, this is a 10 out of 10, guys. And look, I'm not going to throw 10s around loosely now that I've accepted that some are just worthy of it. This is the first time in an individual review I've ever, in 4 years of reviewing fragrances on YouTube, given a 10 out of 10 to a fragrance. Now, I don't want any one person watching this to think, because this was gifted to me, that has even a remote chance of having anything to do with my rating. I love this damn fragrance. I loved it when it was, I'm still going to love it. I'm going to wear this one more because I've been spraying from this one. This is going to be my backup bottle now. Amazing, a must try. If you jive with my taste and you like a lot of fragrances similar to the fragrances I really like, this is a must try. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on the new Isola Blu from Roja Parfums, the rebottling of Oligarch Parfum. Pretty much my favorite Roja Parfums fragrance. Right up there with Danger Parfum. They're like 1A and 1B as my two favorites, vastly different from one another, but both masterpieces. This is an absolute masterpiece. Bravo, Raja Dove. Bravo, sir. Love this fragrance. I don't encourage anyone to blind buy this unless you just got money to blow like that, but definitely sample this. This is an experience worth having. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you tried this already, and what do you think about it? It's all that in a bag of chips to me. There's no guarantees that everyone that tries this is going to feel the way I feel, because it's artistry, it's perfumery, it's subjective. Everybody has different tastes. But if you jive with my taste most of the time, or if you've ever tried this one and you're like, damn, I missed out, I wish I could have got a bottle, now the resale's crazy, here you go. Here is your chance. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Isola Blu from Roja Parfums and you give it a spray now, I am super confident that you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.